Good day, everyone. I hope you're all well. I'm Audrey Coleman. I'm Associate Director and Director of Museum and Archives at the Dole Institute of Politics. These last few weeks, we've had the opportunity to visit with curators from institutions across the country who have hosted our exhibit, The League of Wives, Vietnam's POW, MIA Allies and Advocates, that debuted at the Institute in 2017. The exhibit has been viewed by over 100,000 visitors coast to coast, and it's been an extraordinary project. I want to start by recognizing the exhibit team that was part of the original development of the project. Guest curator and Dole Archives Curatorial Fellow, Heath Hartage-Lee, filmmaker, Christine Bartley, assistant curator, Minda Stockdale, Sarah Gard, archivist at the Dole Institute, Kylie Hewitt, graduate student intern on the project, and many other staff and at the Archives and Institute put together so much effort to make this extraordinary effort. And you can see it's been worth it as the project continues to go on all these years later. We look forward to the exhibit being hosted soon at the Richard Nixon Presidential Library in Yorba Linda, California, and later on at the Gold Star Museum in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm also excited to announce an upcoming project featuring Kathleen Johnson Frisbie, an MIA wife from Salina, Kansas, who we got acquainted with a few years ago when her son Bruce and granddaughter came to see the original League of Wives exhibit. Bruce went back to Salina to bring Kathleen to the Institute to see the exhibit. She was so thrilled to see her friends and colleagues, POW and MIA wives, recognized in this way. And we found out that she was also a founding member of the National League of Families alongside Sybil Stockdale. Her story is an extraordinary one, and we were so pleased that she chose the Dole Institute as to be her repository of her personal papers. The upcoming exhibit will showcase her leadership, perseverance, starting at home, in her community, state, nationally, and internationally during this time. Kathleen's sons, Bruce, Brian, and daughter Kathleen, all grew up with their father missing in action. Army Major Bruce Johnson went to Vietnam in 1964 as an advisor to the South Vietnamese. His helicopter was shot down in South Vietnam before the start of combat operations. The family went without word from him from 1965 until their first trip to Paris in 1969. Altogether, they went to try to meet with Madame Binh, the leader of the North Vietnamese in Paris at that time. They waited until 1970 when Kathleen helped found the National League of Families. They waited until 1973 when the POWs that were living were returned home to the US. 1975 with the fall of Saigon and the removal of the US presence there. Until 1978 when the US government eventually issued a presumptive finding of death for Major Johnson. Their story of waiting, their story of leadership and advocacy for POW and MIA families is inspiring. They remind us that in waiting, we also serve, but that while we're waiting, we can also do a lot to change our world and impact things for families around the country. I hope you're well. I hope we get to see each other soon at the Dole Institute. I've included a link to KPR Presents. Kay McIntyre interviewed Kathleen Frisbie when she was visiting the Dole Institute last October 2019. And so this is a recent interview. We look forward to showcasing her experience and learning from her, and we'll see you real soon. Take care.